from Rachael Swartz as the advisor. And Iliad by Lisa Pedersen and Dennis O'Hare is based on Homer's The Iliad, translated by Robert Fagles. Any undertaking of Homer's epic story is ambitious, but it is precisely the sort of senior project that BFA acting candidate Christian Tripp sought. He sought to answer questions of war, of masculinity, and of coming home within a one-person theatrical telling of the 10-year siege on Troy. The story is told from the perspective of a traveling poet, but also directly from the mouths of Achilles and Hector themselves, their wives, their children, their families, and their friends, for war is not simply on the backs of those who fight it, but all those who live it. The 110-minute piece is directed by Assistant Professor of Acting Rachael Swartz. Christian will appear next at Flagstaff Shakespeare Festival in Titus Andronicus before attending the University of Alabama for his MFA in acting.
Rage. Rage. Sing the rage of Achilles. Back then, I could sing it. For days and nights, on and on, every battle, every old digression, I would just sing and sing. In my cine once, I sang for a year. What, you don't believe me? In Babylon, I sang it differently, but the crowds came. In Alexandria, I started to notice a few empty seats. But still I sang it, shorter though. 3 or 4 days. You know where it went down really well? Gaul. Yeah. Something about those people, they just had a real taste for it. You know, of course, they were hard to control. They would jump on tables, sing along. They threatened to take over the whole thing. Then they'd run outside, screaming, building fires. Terrible. Every time I sing this song, I hope it's the last time. Sing to me now. You, muses. In the halls of Olympus, you are goddesses. You are everywhere. You know everything, and all we hear is the distant ring of glory. Sing. You know, in the old days, we'd be in a tavern, a bar, I guess you would say. It was always easier to talk about these horrors in a bar. This is the story of the Trojan War and 2 great fighters, Achilles and Hector. Oh, muses. Rage. Sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles, murderous, doomed that cost the Achaeans countless losses, hurling down to the house of death so many sturdy souls, great fighters' souls, but made their bodies carry on feasts for the dogs and birds. What drove them to fight with such a fury? The gods, of course. Pride, honor, jealousy, Aphrodite, some game or other, an apple, Helen being more beautiful than somebody. It doesn't matter. The point is, Helen has been stolen and the Greeks have to get her back. It's always something, isn't it? But it's a good story, and I remember a lot of it. Yeah, I remember a lot of it. Imagine a beach, right? Rocky and jagged and about 1.5 miles inland. Imagine a city with stone ramparts protecting it. This city was called Troy. And from the walls of this city, Hector can see into the water, and he can see past the beach. And in the water, there are hundreds of Greek ships, just Greek ships everywhere. This is where my story takes place ages ago. Who were the captains of those ships? Who were the captains of the Achaia? The massive troops I can never really tally. You know, I could if I had 10 tongues and 10 mouths, right? If I had a heart made of me bronze, yeah, a heart made of me bronze. If I could remember everybody's names, if I could really remember everybody. Sing. Sing in memory all who gathered under Troy. The list of ships, the numbers of men on those ships. Muses? Here goes. First came the Boeotian units led by Laetus and Peneleus. Arcesilaus, Proothenor, and Clonius shared command of the armed forces who lived in Hyria, rocky Aulis, Thespia, and Graea, the dancing rings of Mycalessus. Fighters from around Harma, Elysian, and Erythri, Copaea, Eutresis, and Thisbe thronged with doves. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Fighters from around Coronia, Haelartis, deep in meadows. Fighters who held from Plataea, who lived in Glissos. Fighters who held from the rough-hewn gates of lower Thebes. Unkistas, the holy, Poseidon's sun-filled grove. Men from round Arni Green with the vineyards. Oh. You don't know any of these places, do you? But these names, they mean something to me. And I knew these boys. The point is, all right, that on all of these ships, there are boys from every small town in Ohio, from the farmlands and the fishing villages, the boys of Nebraska and South Dakota, the twangy boys of Memphis, boys from San Diego, Palo Alto, Berkeley, Antelope Valley. You can imagine it. Imagine it. There are soldiers from Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas. There are soldiers from Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Evanston, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. There are soldiers from Buffalo, New York, Cooperstown, New York, Brooklyn, New York, Staten Island, Queens, the Bronx, South Bronx. There are soldiers from Florida with its snake charmers and evangelists. There are soldiers from Miami who speak Spanish, Miami who speak French, Miami who speak English. There are soldiers from Texas, from Houston, from Plano, from the Flatlands, from Dallas. There are soldiers from Tennessee, from the mountains in Tennessee, from the West Mountains, from Virginia, from Seattle, from the mountains in Seattle, from Flint, Michigan, from Benton Harbor, you know, from the thumb, right? From Escanaba. You get it. Yeah, you get it. We're talking tens of thousands of men emptied out of the Greek islands. Just picture these men. So many ships, all of these ships. $50, $40, $40, $40, $60, $100. $60, $40, $40, $12, $80, $50, $30, $11, $40, $60, These are ships I'm counting, not men. 40, 40, 90. That's, how many? Hundreds and hundreds of ships. There's 120 men on each ship. Hundreds of Greek men. Do you see? And so, for 9 years, Muses, please don't make me do this alone. And the fighting, it's on and off, and the Greeks will win one day, Trojans win the next. It's like a big game of tug-of-war, but there's nothing to show for it but poverty, exhaustion, loneliness. What was it like? It was pain. It was awful. It was hot. How about that? Huh? It was hot. How can I? 9 years. So for you left home. Your baby was 1. You come back. Your baby is 10. You left home. Your baby was 1. You come back, your baby is dead. You come back, your wife is dead. You come back, your wife is fat. You come back, and your wife has had 3 affairs and 2 kids, and she comes up to you and she's like, "Oh, honey, no, don't be mad, don't be mad." You know what I'm saying? Or you come back and the farm is ruined, and you're no longer Diocletian or whatever it is. You're Spartan now. And now the whole time, while you were hanging out in Troy, they were fighting and they took over your land. You don't own the title to your land anymore. We don't wear those leggings anymore. We stopped wearing those a long time ago, sweetheart. Can you imagine it? And for 9 years, you can imagine after 9 years, they don't know why they're fighting. They want to go home. But what humiliation it would be to hold out for so long and sail home empty-handed. How do you know when you've won? And someone once told me, how do you ask a man to be the last person to die for a losing cause? And I'm paraphrasing now, but it's sort of like when you're in the supermarket line and you've been waiting there for about 20 minutes and then the line beside you starts moving faster. Do you switch lines now? No, God damn it, I've been waiting here for 20 minutes and I'm going to keep on waiting. I don't care how long the line gets because, look, otherwise I've wasted my time. Courage, my friends. Hold out a little longer. So, thank you guys so much for letting me bully you a little bit. So, my name is Tripp. I'm a senior acting BFA here. Why I picked this project. You know, someone once told me that most dreams, where do they end up? They end up in the graveyard because people don't have the courage to come out and say what they really feel and really try to go after what they really want to do. And I thought about that, and then I thought about all the people that have died in wars after reading this script. Because in one part of this script, I list every single one, and it's 6 pages long. And then when you look at the events like Syria going on right now, that's more people. Where could this world be if we didn't have that? And I don't think anybody's asking that question as to why can't we not? And so that's why I picked this play. That's why I picked this piece, and that's why it's important to me. And thank you guys for letting me share it with you. The first scene of it anyway. If you want to see the rest of it, Sunday, 7:30 at night, Black Box Theater. It's going to be probably hot, and you're just going to try to squish in as many people as you can. But thank you guys so much for letting me tease you a little bit. Much love.